This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site, Postmates Advanced Training. With this series of videos, I am soliciting people to consider Postmates. If you start and you don't have anyone else to credit for referral, give me credit for referral. If you're successful, I earn a bonus. To the best of my ability, I estimate who is listening, and I'm considering 3 categories as I speak. People listening, just one of the mysteries of the internet, people just listen to stuff. People read stuff, and so I consider that E for everybody, like the apps. I rated E for everyone. And then the other group is Postmates, but there's a lot of stuff I have that's really specific to New York Postmates, so I will specify Postmates, New York Postmates, all Postmates, whatever. It's really Postmates total or New York and not New York. Sharing my screen. I'm kind of condensed this. I did a little organizing of my screens. I already have Windows open, so because once I start the Hangout, it gets slow. So I'll begin here. These are my payouts. I did 11, I think, tonight. 8, 9, 10, 11. So this was my first one, Five Guys Burgers. Now when I get to the tweets, this is all Postmates. I'm going to explain my strategy, how I started. And what I did is just me trying to develop a strategy and where I am. And I think I can interpret what I did and sort of help people in New York and not in New York understand it. So I'll revisit that later. So these are all my payouts. Five Guys Burger, $7.11, $7.11. By Chloe, $8.11. Then De Pablo Fine Foods. Look at that tip, $14.63. They must have given me a percentage. This was expensive stuff. Bread, grated Parmesan, a pound of prosciutto. That's all I can remember. It was really nice, really good. Felt like I was in an Italian supermercado. Sushi, $4, tip pending. Whole Foods, $4.79. I love the grocery stores. I got a gallon and a half of fresh squeezed grapefruit juice. A gallon and a half is pretty heavy, but I didn't take it very far. $5 on teriyaki. Tacombe is, I think Tacombe is some Mexican, ancient ruin, probably who was in Mexico, I think the Aztecs, maybe the Mayans. I don't know what Tacombe is, but it's a restaurant. It was popular. It's cool. The meatball shop is, I've done this probably 10 times, $4.70. And this is a little odd. I'm going to show the tweets. I got one at Blitz Pricing. And when it went to Blitz Pricing, I had this fantasy that I was Blitz Pricing through the rest of the night. I almost decided to work later. When I did this, I thought, I'm going to do 1 or 2 more. And it went Blitz Pricing, and I thought, maybe I'll work till midnight. And now I look at it, and I'm really glad I didn't. Because it's 11:25 and I'm home. I'd still be there. I had the energy. I could have done it. And now I'm really glad I didn't. So Meatball Shop, $4.70. Merch Masala, $8.13. Milk and Cookies, $4.41. Chipotle, $6.16. And that's it. That last screen took me to another night. So this was my final one, $6.16, Chipotle. So now to the tweets. Starting here, this is me in my neighborhood in the barrio. this morning. This is a sticker of a tow truck company. A fellow bought me a coffee yesterday. He drives a tow truck in the neighborhood. He's being a nice guy, maybe he'll get a client through me, Yeah, right. A carless guy who really doesn't know anyone who has a car. And but anyways, I took that picture for him. So moving on, Andrew Prokop is a media pro, works for an organization called Vox.com. He interviewed someone who predicted Trump would be the nominee and predicted the Republican nominee and predicted Cruz would be the second contender, which is exactly right, and he predicted it a year ago. So last summer, he predicted it. Now, Andrew Prokop interviewed that man. His name's Orenstein. So I have Andrew's picture in my tweets because of this right here. That, listeners, if you were to click on that, you would hear me reading the interview of Andrew Prokop. Just absolutely fascinating that it wasn't just a guess. This guy wasn't a psychic. He analyzed the politics of the situation and made predictions. It's really remarkable political science. Listeners, both in Postmates, both in and out in New York. Now, New Yorkers are going to have a much easier time understanding this. So I'll try to put it both ways for New York people and out of New York people. I come into the city. This is my tube. This is the Lincoln Tunnel. So I arrive in Manhattan here. Now my area in New Jersey is out of the zone, so I cannot start in my neighborhood. So as I go to a place where I can work, I end up arriving here. This is the first place in the zone. So this is one of those strategic questions. And all Postmates face this. When do you go online? So I decided to go online. I had some overflow work from the week, and I sat down in the bus station, and as I was finishing this phone call that flowed over from my week, the marketing work that I do, I get a delivery, and so I go and I do it. And this was Five Guys Burger from 42nd Street over here. So people in New York, Postmates in New York, this is a bad place to be. It's Saturday, it's Midtown, and you're over near the river. The chance of getting another job near the river is really close to zero. So what do? New York people know you go this way. No, it's the weekend, and this speaker, me, Tom Duty, uses the share bikes. And the weekend there are no share bikes in this area. So this is a disaster for me on two levels. Now, Postmates New York people know that it's a disaster on one level because you're way over near the river, and the commerce, the restaurants, the activity is over here, so this is a bad place to be. It's doubly bad for me because I depend on share bikes. So I'm like, I want to get out of here. So that's exactly what I did. This is some blogging I did from the bus station. This is me writing to Postmates. Dear kind person who's Postmates, I'm trying to get paid for a delivery that I got snubbed because of my phone went out and they ended up canceling the order. But I completed the job. I just wasn't able to, in a timely manner, I wasn't able to tell the app that I was done, and I wasn't able to upload the receipt. So this is me trying to get paid. And I call it pissed off because I am pissed off. I've written to him twice now, and several days I'm still not paid. And here's the deal, Five Guys Burgers. This is me tweeting a picture of see these red dots? No, Postmates people, nobody, Postmates, this is irrelevant for Postmates. These are share bikes, and red is bad. Okay, these are all red because on the weekend, the kind people at City Bike don't redistribute the bikes, so this whole area is empty. I got to get myself to the East or West Village. So look at what I did. Ding, ding, ding. Current delivery right here, offline. So I went online, I did one delivery, I went back offline. Listeners, Postmates people in New York and out of New York, I'm going to try to because this was like a head game. I'm in New York, I I get my work of the week done. I want to flip the switch and I want to start doing deliveries. But I know I'm in a bad place. So I say, okay, I basically went online, did one, and went back offline. It gave me, it's a head game. Postmates people, you can understand why I would do this. You might even do it yourself. Yeah, I'm not in a good location, but I'm burning some time. I got some phone calls to make. I'll go online. If I get a job, I'll do it. If I don't, I'll go to a better place. And that's exactly what I did. And then, as you can see, doubly bad. I end up near the river. New York people can tell you. Everybody knows that's bad. It's even worse on a Saturday. Combined with share bikes, all these red dots, it's doubly bad. I go offline. Listeners, Postmates both in and out of New York, I would do this again. It kind of jump-started. It made me feel like I was done with my week, turning into the deliveries, and it kind of kick-started my energy. And like I say, it's a head game. I could have just stayed offline and gone to an area of greater activity, but I chose a different route. It's me getting paid for 5 guys. I'm offline. And then so Postmates people in and out of in New York, you know, this is the Lincoln Tunnel, this is Port Authority Bus Terminal, this is Times Square. I rode down to here into the middle of the heat. That's the West Village, and this is me getting on the schedule. Listeners, Postmates both in and out of New York. I do not schedule myself in advance. I'm getting the hours I want without a lot of it takes some manipulation, but I just, when I want the hours, I hunt them. I get myself in a zone. If I can't get any hours, and I generally start getting jobs. This is 22 minutes. It took me to go from Port Authority Bus Terminal near the Lincoln Tunnel, Times Square, to the middle of the activity. So Postmates people out of New York, I'm in the zone. But 22-minute investment gets me in the middle of the heat. It also gets me into an area where there are bikes. So 22 minutes invested, it's one of those pay me now or pay me later. I decided to pay my 22-minute obligation later. I did 5 Guys Burgers. I went offline and then rode down to a zone, went back online. And there's where I am, Carmen and Carmen and 6th. That's the center of that's a good place for me. New York people, for me, that's Port Authority Bus Terminal. Again, Times Square, Lincoln Tunnel. That's down 9th Avenue, down Bleecker to 6th, and that's a good place for me. There's me getting paid for something. I don't know what I'm getting paid for. I must have missed getting paid for something there. And then here's the second one, DiPaolo, Fine Foods, and it is fine. Very inefficient, very slow, authentically Italian, really nice. Other than everyone behind the counter is Latino and they speak Spanish, but the food it really seems like a carniceria in Italia. My wife is there now. Moving on to sushi. I've been here twice now. No, that's not true. I thought I was going to a place, a repeat, but it was not a repeat, different place. Got paid for that one. I love the grocery stores. I forget what, I said I got the juice. Fleet, I don't know why I tweeted that. I probably had a good reason for it. Went back to the schedule, got paid for something. Here we go, Tacombe. And there's the meatball shop. That's where I took the meatballs. There's really an order I want to... Oh, here we go. Higher payouts in effect. That's the one blitz pricing I got. Almost convinced me to stay till midnight. And I ended up getting 1 at the blitz, and then the blitz vanished. So someone in New York Postmates is manipulating, or maybe it's National Postmates is manipulating that blitz. It only went to 1.25. I've seen 1.5 before. And in addition to going to 1.25, it only went there, and I only got 1 delivery. Screenshot captured. I don't know what this is. Oh, that's the lightning for the Blitz. So that's my one order. It was probably by Chloe. And here's right near Chloe. And I was on my way to do 12 seats. So Postmates New York people, 12 chairs. I did it once a week ago, and now all of a sudden I've got my second order. I'm on my way there. I'm speaking of 12 chairs on. Everyone in New York knows McDougal is north of Houston. Well, there's a little block of it that's south of Houston, and 12 chairs is on that little piece of McDougal that extends south of Houston. I think it comes to an end at Prince, and I was delivery reassigned away from me. There it is. 12 chairs has been canceled. Or these are different ones. 12 chairs was canceled because they only take cash. I denied. I was not going to schlep to a. I mean, 12 chairs is, it probably would have been like $80. I would have had to go. I didn't have it. I would have had to go to an ATM, get the cash. So I declined. I had accepted it, and then they called me and they said, this is cash only. I said, I'm not doing it, and so they took it away from me. So then they gave me another one that I accepted. It was going to take me north of 14th Street. I don't want to go north of 14th Street on weekends because the bikes aren't available. So by my request, they took that away from me. They resolved my issue. And look at this. Listeners, please, both in and out of New York, 825. I say, no, I don't want this one. Again, 12 chairs is a different one. So they took that away from me because of the cash. So now, by my request, I don't want to go north of 14th Street. It was going to take me up to, not that far north, like 21st. I didn't want to do it. So I called, and they took it away from me, and that's them resolving my issue. Look at that. 1 minute later, I got another one, and it was very near me, this Indian masala. I don't know where it went, but anyway, so this was a good deal. I'm going to start declining the orders I don't want more often. Listeners, Postmates, I'm going to start declining the orders I don't want more often. Especially on the weekends with this bike problem. I don't want to go to I don't mind going to places where I know I'm going to have to return without a job. I'm going to have to resume in a commercially active area. I don't mind going to the rivers because it's kind of part of the deal, but I don't want to go far up to 42nd on the east side and be stuck up there without a bike and way out of the center of Manhattan. So I'm going to start doing this more often. Look at what a great deal this was. They gave it to me. I accepted it. Then I changed my mind. I didn't really change my mind. You have to accept it in order to find out where the customer is. I accept it. I look where the customer is, and I immediately decline it. Look at that. 1 minute, I got a better order. I'm doing it more often. Postmates, please take a minute to, both in and out of New York, please take a minute to understand what I did here. It really is, it's a new thing for me, and it's going to happen again and again. Milk and cookies. And then there's my last one, Chipotle. I had a problem with a doorman today. I'm getting harassed. I think I probably get harassed by more doormen than anyone else because I expect to get harassed, and so I do. Listeners, he says, I'm speaking through the crack in the door of this, Soho building, and the guy's talking to me like I'm a physical threat to him. I was already pissed off, and we hadn't even exchanged words. And he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm delivering food to one of your customers." I didn't know there was any work scheduled. This guy is already distracted by my orange bucket. I can understand why he's distracted, but for me to be greeted with suspicion just because I'm carrying an orange bucket, I've got food for one of his customers, I'm already pissed off. I said, I'm tired of the questions. I'm going to step back out to the sidewalk. I'm going to call the customer, and I'm going to tell him I'm being harassed by his doorman. Is that what you want me to do? And he didn't say no, so I did exactly that. I get the customer on the line, and I said, I'm being harassed by your doorman. What do you want me to do? He said, let me talk to him. So I go to give the phone to the doorman. The doorman won't take the phone. He said, have him call me. I said, this man is a certified asshole. And then the customer said, hey, you don't have to use that language. Oh, I felt terrible for cussing. I didn't really mean that. If I really felt that bad, I wouldn't do it again. But I will do it again. So anyways, this thing plays out. I'm on the phone. The doorman won't take the phone. And I said, the doorman won't take the phone. He said, it's okay, I'll be down. So I've already used the word asshole, which was kind. I could have put the F word in front of it, and it would have been also appropriate, but I did feel bad. Oh, you know, this guy sounded European. He probably wasn't French. So certified asshole, he said, hey, you don't have to use that language. Oh, I feel bad. I sincerely feel bad, but not enough to like regret and pledge that I'm going to clean up my language. It was an occasion for foul language. I don't feel that bad. So then he said, oh, okay, I'm coming down. And with that, the other doorman, the one that was harassing me, goes back to his desk like he's going to take a phone call from the resident. He's not going to take a phone call from the resident. The resident is coming down. And with that, I just handed the bag in to the other guy who was sort of cooperative and quiet, and he took it from me, and I walked away. Crazy. It's not crazy. It's repeated again and again. And listeners, I hope this was the E for everybody. That was the doorman story, not just Postmates. Everywhere, not just Postmates in New York or other Postmates. That's general interest, people. That's the best I have. This is bashing heads with doormans, crushing egos, foul language. I know from all my blogging experience, my audio blogging experience, my video blogging experience, I know that these things are popular. So I will keep them coming. It's one of the reasons I do it. And this one was especially fun. This has been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.